gonna do something a little different to spend the last remaining days of 2018. See what is still like to go around the plaguelands and see the feelings of nostalgia and lament of revisiting and the area journeying through the Rise of Iron campaign, and once it's boot up, let's go in and see what it's like in 2018.
The city's feeding all active requests through Shiro, so hit the beacons and he'll point us toward any trouble.
The city's got feelers out for resources from the plaguelands. Gather what you can, and they'll be further in your debt.
Nice work.
Constant reports of aggression throughout this area. Take out some of the riffraff, and I'll owe you one.
I think they got the message.
Right, now got myself in here. People thinking, how do I get it back out of here? It's basically simple really. You got orbit. Then you reload it back up, then you go back in.
The city's feeding all active requests through Shiro. So hit the beacons and he'll point us toward any trouble.
Here it is. Right, for those of you who haven't played Destiny before, this area also doubles up as the beginning area for the Wrath of the Machine raid. It's the most double, well utilised, multifaceted area with the Rise of Iron. The area we're about to go into is the Cosmodrome, but not as you know it to see. Of course, this is not the real Cosmodrome. The real Cosmodrome is on the other side of the map. This is more or less of a twisted alternate reality version of the Cosmodrome. In the real area, some of these areas, like this room, does not exist. As it told during through the special mission on the Halloween event over in Destiny 2, where you have to do this quest where you have to go back to a portion of the Cosmodrome. According to the audio logs from Smaller, reason why this area is a no-go zone is because it's been so heavily polluted with so much Zima all over the place. The area is deemed uninhabitable to explore. That's why you can go into the early part of the Cosmodrome for when you start off the vanilla Destiny game. With a slight homage to the alpha and the beta stages of the game, where you touch down in the first bit of the Cosmodrome, being greeted by this Guardian, and both of you go into this room and take on this big captain thing, and it drops it's an exotic, but it's not the final version of the game. The final version of the game is where you get spotted by your ghost after when you create your Guardian, no matter which faction you go for, like Warlock, Hunter and Titan. This area, there's a part as the early part of the settings perfected strike and nightfall. But in the proper version of this is for the start of the normal strike. And you can also do a bit of exploring. And this area also plays a part when you're collecting pieces to reconstruct Kvostov, which is one of the weapons you get when you start the beginning of the game. And then the normal version, this area also plays a part as one of the missions called the Fist of Crota. I think you start off there. This is where you first encounter Omnigo. You don't kill her, of course. She vanishes. You quickly run the gauntlet, go in there, then I'm gonna get destroyed. Yeah. Occupational hazard, being a guardian, you're gonna die a lot. And the bit I went past is where you summon the guy, you slay him, and if you're lucky, he drops the husk of the pit. One of the first early stages for the Necrochasm quest. The second stage is Ideal Ally. Then the second stage is the Necrochasm, in which you have to do majority of that in the Crota's End raid, and the other half, in order to complete it, is to do the Omnigo strike. And once you complete that, you get this essence thing. We have to infuse that after when you get it from Erismon in the tower. And this is the other area where you get the pages and schematics for the Kvostov. And you can get those collectibles while you're here. But in the normal version of this area, you see a walker tank. In this area, there's about 2 Siva clusters. One there, I think, and the other one is in this room, in which you have to pop a key in order to get it. And the normal version, I think, is where one of those dead ghosts are. This is that area. But as for an exploration area, far as I remember, is not much to do once you clear out all the others, of course. Then it becomes an area just for you and some of your friends just to mess around, basically. The only time you need to kill loads and loads of enemies if you doing it for XP, but once you reach the level cap of 40 now, there's no point in just go around and killing loads and loads of enemies ad nauseum. And in the normal version of this area, it is a secret boss, so we have to kill a worshipper, and there's a special wizard. Then you kill her, and she doesn't drop anything really, which is somewhat underwhelming. That's that area. There's two routes into getting to this area for the Sevix perfected strike. There's through here, and the alternate route is through here. If you see that messed up when you do the Sevix perfected area, you know you can't get through there, but through here. I don't know why Bungie decided to implement that mechanic when they developed and devised that for the strike. They could have added both routes to get in. The only sad thing about this version of the Cosmodrome is you can't go to the other side. We do the early prerequisited story missions in the vanilla campaign. You can only get far into that building right down there. Back to the ambush. It's gonna fly like the wind. Yeah, there's one there. I've already got that one. But I think here are the normal version of this Cosmodrome. In there there's a ghost, there's two in the fact in the normal version. There's the other one there, I think. They was told a while back that some people can manage to do that sparrow glitch and got into there, basically. And this is the area I was talking about earlier, where you do that quest for the Thunderlord, which there's a big gas enemy comes out of there. In the beta, I should say in the alpha and beta stages of the game, he does actually come out there. You kill him and it drops an exotic called the Thunderlord. But like I said earlier, that did not happen in the early stage, in the final version of the game. We come in, you kill loads of odds, you have to run, we come in and run the gauntlet to get into that building and to get to your drop ship and not drop ship. You get to your ship and disappear. And in the normal version of this game, in some of these areas, there's ghosts.
Code's only partial, but I think I can... We're good. The dispatch you grabbed includes schematics and engineering overlays for the Splicer's catch. They've got a servitor overseeing a full-scale conversion of the ship's flight and weapons systems, using SIVA. We need to put a stop to that bad idea. Now.
And normally in this area there's one of the cluster things in there. In the reprised version, this is after funding the Lord quest through the Halloween event of Destiny 2. This is where you go in here. And in the normal version, this area also plays a part as one of the prerequisite story missions in the House of Wolves campaign called Silent Bang. which you come in here, you see loads of predator captains and that, and you got to kill them. But when you do explore here in the normal version, this ship here does not exist.
Nice. A fallen catch retrofit with SIVA. Something we can definitely do without.
Then once that's done, you go to our chest and open up. And the legendary engram, and there's one of the things for, I think it was for the Kavos stuff, I think. But when you come into this area, onto the ship, there's two versions of the encounter. There's the captain version and there's the servitor version. And a while back, the people was doing glitch videos and managed to get on top of that somewhat. And there's a long trip back in here. You don't have to kill all of these, just if you're fast enough you can bypass all of these. Only time you can access that area is by one of those splicer keys. But I won't use them willy-nilly in this area because occasionally you need them for the forge, for Archon's Forge. If you want, when you get killed and eliminated, you can buy your way back into the forge by one of those keys. So if you do get them, use them sparingly. But as for a DLC that came out in 2016, the graphics still look amazing, even on the upgraded 4K television and PS Pro. But I'm only judging by the graphics of the playlands. It can be vary on other parts, as well as the normal version of the Cosmodrome. Right, when you come to this Archon's Forge, if you got to see the perfected offering, if you're under level, expect to get yourself ceremoniously wrecked.
Oh no, the splicers don't like you.
And this area plays a part in it, so when you're doing the Shira form bounties.
The Fallen seek to prove their worth in this pit, like a trial by fire. Let's show them how unworthy they are.
I used to, when I used to play this religiously, I used to love coming to this area, spend ages in it.
More splicers inbound. That alarm. Something's up. You can end this. Keep pushing.
But when you got to be careful, if you don't get out quick, you get trapped in dead end. It's pure nightmare.
Well, the splicers won't forget you anytime soon.
It doesn't matter about that, just die anyway. The best day I used to do this was on reset every Tuesday. Because reset day means bounty day. And I think I got some kind of a milestone or something. Right, when you complete when they introduced this book in the last year of this game, in 2017, once you reach 70 in rank 7, it gives you a discount code for a limited edition t-shirt which you have to redeem on the Bungie site. As to the misconception about that is everybody thought in order to get to rank 17 you got to get to rank 7, you got to complete absolutely every single part of the book. Apparently some myth about that was heavily debunked. You got to only do a quarter of the fraction of the book in order to reach rank 7 to get the t-shirt. So that was the misconception about the Age of Triumph book. But however, I think to get the t-shirt is around about 20
Every war set we secure
to 25
provides intel the city can use. So defend it while I
off.
secure
You
its
still
data.
have to pay heavily for it if you live outside the United States and North America, which includes things like custom charges and whatnot for those who lives in territories that is customs heavy, like the UK and probably Australia. So, I find it was a bit of a laugh, really. And doing these is very good. Sometimes you get legendary shards, legendary hearts. Some of the times you get a legendary, and most of the times you get
This war set's
exotic
taking major
shards.
damage. I need more time. Finish line's in sight. Don't let up.
But you can only reward you that
War set
thing
secure.
once a week.
All available data mapped and stored.
As you saw there, I got legendary engram and decrypted engram, spin metal, and lots of light. And part of the thing is these. There's one of these is high value target thing, which is the early stages of the Galahorn quest, in which was when the game first started in its early stages, way back in 2014, where people used to stroke lucky, either get as a lucky drop either in the vault of glasses, raid mostly, or out of the chest at the end of doing Prison of Elders. So when people got that, the reactions was overwhelming, a very joyous moment. But the problem is that is the lack of that kind of magic and sense of feeling of getting the weapon that you've been grinding for so long and you want it so bad. You go to any means in that to get it. Once it's all paid off, all that means no sentiment attachment when that kind of thing doesn't happen in Destiny 2 by far, not what I've seen. Yeah, there may be some fake reaction videos of people getting them. I think that those were not 100% authentic, unlike the ones they did in Destiny 2, and when they showed the montages of people getting the Galahorn as part of the promotional material of the Rise of Iron, because the Rise of Iron came with the Iron Galahorn. I think this has only happened in the United States version, where Professor Broman, which is an excellent streamer and an excellent YouTuber, you should go see him. When he did it, when he saw his reaction to the US promotional material for the Rise of Iron, he was choked up. Basically, I should know. I watched him. Because you see, he had that sense of feeling when people get the first ever drop that they've been grinding for so long, and when they got it, they had that sense of excitement. My first ever lucky weapon I got so far was originally was is the other version of the Fate Bringer. Which did a reaction to that somewhere on this channel or on my other channel. And I do have it somewhere, as many people were joking about that hand cannon from the Undying Random Strike. I automatically did a review about that. My first ever raid weapon that I did personally was by lucky getting into a raid team who did Crota. I think I got the Abyss's Defiant Adept and Song of Yut. Once I get to somewhere quiet, so not. Then go back to the tower for a bit. See if I've got it. See if I've got the weapon I'm trying to think of in my vault. But one thing great about this is a game, for every time where there was a DLC come out, the startup screen changes in the coordination to that theme. Until they got retired towards the end of the game's current cycle, which they revert to the vanilla default screen. That's it, the Amalgo Loop. Once, when I first got that from the Undying Man Strike, it was elated big. I got it at the time during through the Taken King, which had to do it the normal way, grind the same strike over and over and over and over again to get lucky. It was either the Amalgo Loop or the Undying Mark. but you don't want to go for the undying mark. But that's that's called the booby prize one, which you don't want to do that in the early days of this game. You want to actually go for the actual weapon. And on the last day before the Rise of Iron came out, I got finally I got the Mau Maulers and this one, the Dark Blade Helm. The Mau Maulers, getting it before the Rise of Iron come out was a pain in the utter rear end. I ran the Shield Brother Strike so many times, far as I can remember, and I never seemed to get it until the last day before the Rise of Iron, and lo and behold, it popped up. Happy days, basically, and yeah. And let's go over to Master Raoul.
Happy to help. Huh. Interesting. I didn't think you.
Which was the most revered and hated vendor in the Hall of Destiny.
As we make it. You know that. I should get back to my studies.
Because he used to stiff Guardians up the butt with trading in engrams. And another keynote about the, for those of you who haven't played Destiny before, in the early days of Destiny, this used to be the area for the Iron Banner, which is Lord Saladin, aka Lord Salad Dressing, used to appear. Where you used to grind for armor and weapons and that. But when they retired him, it was closed for a while. I think due to the import and frustration of the community, the Bungie decided to open it up so people can access this area for to explore. And somewhere around it there was a ghost, which I've already got, which sadly you can't do that 3 times. You can only do it in one of your characters. I don't know why they did that, which you could give them the freedom to do it 3 times over. It was ridiculous. And on an interesting important note, in 2016, where some Guardian give me a glance. Yeah, you're gonna get that a lot in this game. I've had that so many times during my Destiny playing career in this game. It's unbelievable. Yeah, once he's finishing, look, eyeballing me, I can get back to some normality. Yeah, during the Rise of Iron, they introduced this new season called The Dawning, which is currently on its last days over in Destiny 2. We come here every day, you see small parcels here and big parcels at the back. The big parcels at the back was originally for the Abaddon and Nova Mortis versions of the Thunderlord. And once the dawning was over, I think there was frustrations and that, so I said, how can we still get the Abaddon and Nova Mortis? So now the dawning's finished, we missed out, so they decide to put it in the randomized loot pool.
Yes, Guardian.
And unlike the Destiny 2, which you have to use this currency to buy all of this, you could go up to this guy here and its equivalency in the reef. You can pick up loads of these, but they only useful if you're ranking up in the early stages, if you need a lot of XP. So it's best off to do, if you're just recently starting off in this game, the best policy is to do all of this. Once you get to the Rise of Iron stages, you got these things called the Elite Vanguard Bounties. So, some can also contribute to the XP gains. And if you come in here, there's a Guardian sitting pretty, and there's
Crota and Oryx. You're racking them up, aren't you?
Commander Zavala. You come to him, and he has a special bounty called the Sunrise Bounty, which guarantee you the icebreaker. If you do it in the certain time before the time expires, you can guarantee the icebreaker. And that's what is useful for.
Keep an eye on Eris. I still don't
If you start to create a character for when you first start the game, these are your vendors. You go to, if you want to be a vendor, you go to Commander Zavala, voiced by the Lancer
deep in the desert.
Riddick.
Getting there will be half the fun.
Who was in shows like The Wire and that. There's Case 6 if you want to be Hunter, in which he doesn't he only exists up to vanilla campaign in Destiny 2, then he departs in the campaign called The Forsaken. K6, however, is voiced by a legendary character actor, Fillion, who starred in shows like Castle, Firefly, that became Serenity to finish it off, and he was also in films like Dracula 2000, and he did the voiceovers for Halo. He's been a prominent face for Bungie for many years, and if you want to be Warlock, you go to Ikara Ray, voiced by Gina Torres. Her credits include so many shows. It's like Cleopatra 25 or whatever, which was a was the mid-90s sci-fi show that did not last for long, and she starred opposite Nathan in Firefly and Serenity. Those are your Vanguard vendors and quest givers. And you got Lord Shatz, which is your Crucible hander, I think he's voiced by somebody called Lenny James.
Killed the king.
Yeah, and he oftenly grills you if you're not pulling your weight in the crucible. He could be pretty much of an assatism. Is Lord Sharks. Once you rank up, you can unlock all this. These are part of the Taken King. There's a quest where you can send these exotic, which I never did. There's this thing called our site 99 to 40, in which she can gain access to this after when you pass rank 3.
Until next time.
It's not easy.
And there's the Erismon, in which you can buy things like stolen rooms and reciprocal rooms for the Court of Oryx, but but it does pop in
Watch the darkness.
like there's no tomorrow out in the battle zone. And there's this guy called Banshee 44,
Guardian.
which is the arms day guy, which you go to do the testing guns, and that leads to the higher tier ones like the Ace of Spades and the etc. etc. And also like you go to receive the
Come see me if there's any problems.
sleeper simulant. And here's the Vanguard, the Quartermaster, Ronnie 5530.
Guardian.
In which you can buy sparrows and all that lot.
You are always welcome at the armory.
Another wonderful thing about this game, you've got individual kiosks every time you unlock a ship, and that by ranking up in Vanguard and doing raids and etc. Once you delete them, you can easily come back and retrieve them. Likewise with sparrows. Some can easily upgrade, but
Been chewing on the flux wires.
the rare ones into legendary by using those plasma drives. You only can obtain them from Zer, and this is Amanda Holiday,
How's these look to you?
which she was the SRL handler.
So long, Guardian.
And the quest giver for the chaperone, and you have 3 books here. Forget Moments of Triumph, that doesn't exist. You got record book of Age of Triumph. Like I said, in the past, it's been sadly delayed. They discontinued the Age of Triumph t-shirt, so forget about ranking up to that. And there's the Rise of the Iron Book. Every time you rank up, you unlock them rewards like armor pieces like legs for all 3 characters, arms and chest and helmet. and your class item. And once you get to level 22, you can get a ship, and there's the Winter's End. And for the piece de resistance, the record, yeah, free competitive spirit. This was during through the dawning, in which was the rise of Iron, which have done it all, done all the Vanguard Elite, the Sparrow racing, into the finish, position racing, tricky speed bumps, slalom, speeder, maximum velocity, and red racer. Once you do that, you can unlock all these rewards. Saladin's tag, which offers great rewards. Forget Saladin's tag. You don't want that. And EV-31 Nightbird. As for when you start the game, don't worry about picking your faction. If you want to go for the Future War, Dead Orbit, or New Monarchy. But if you want to do it in continents, if I was Titan, I'd rather go with New Monarchy. If I was Hunter, Dead Orbit, and if I was Warlock, Future War. Once you pick your preferred vendor, you can only change your allegiance once a week to prevent from people to stop changing it willy-nilly. The vendors... Whoops, once I get back up there, I didn't mean to drop. There's 3 vendors, Lakshmi, which is the Future War. Ark Jalal, which is the Dead Orbit.
Not much longer now, Guardian.
And as for the New Monarchy, I know it's a fair bit of a stretch getting into the other side.
Looking for me?
Is Executor Hideo, played by James Remar, a character actor that appeared in multiples of films? His iconic role is playing Ajax in The Warriors, and he was in that terrible sequel to Mortal Kombat called Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which he did a poor attempt to do Christophe Lambert's Raiden. I did meet the guy and joked about how terrible the film was to him. He was a okay guy, and he appeared in shows like Sex and the City, and he appeared in small roles. I think it was the Three Amigos and a bunch of others. That's Executor Hideo. And Eva Levante, the shader and emblem vendor, which you can get shaders and emblems. Right, this is the kiosk where you can earn your emblems from quests, raids, PvP, Trials of Osiris, and etc, 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 and by ranking up through factions. And this is all your holiday stuff. Things like the Festival of the Lost in Destiny 1, it was heavily memed as Festival of the Cost because everything was tied to Eververse, and Eververse has not been a fan favourite amongst the hardcore Destiny fans, so which people would rather to see her go. And this mysterious guy here called the Speaker is played by Bill Nighy. He was in films like Love Actually, the Underworld series alongside Kate Beckinsale, and he also played alongside Kate Beckinsale in Total Recall 2012, and he was also in films like Shaun of the Dead and etc, etc, etc. He has a long profile as Bill Nighy, not to be confused with the science guy with the same name, but people oftenly confuse the two because the two people have the almost exactly similar sounding name.
There is still much to do and learn.
When people say, Bill Nighy, was he that science guy? Did he play the Speaker? No, it's not the one that they're thinking of. And when I get back to the main thing in the tower, and here she is, the most despised vendor in all of Destiny, which is the Eververse lady. But they did take her out for a while, but they brought her back so much when they did the promotional trailers for the Festival of the Lost and the Dawning, which was featured in. There was a huge backlash and outcry amongst the hardcore Destiny fans, and they had to do another version of the trailers.
Service normal. Goodbye.
And strangely enough, at one time or another, there was a certain YouTuber called More Console, which he appeared here by but just in my recollection of the guy, I've got footage of him sitting around with a bunch of other Guardians, because due to the fact he's a well-known popular name on YouTube, he's going to get all the traffic. And yeah, and there's a vendor that comes every Friday called Zer. Is in two places, either at the tower or in the reef by Petrovenge.
The Taken still dance in the dark.
So there's no point in going to Zer when you're starting the game off, because you haven't got enough strange coins and that in order to get anything from him. Somewhere near his most controversial one was the 3 coins, which gain an exotic drop, which was not favourable amongst then again was not favourable amongst the hardcore Destiny fans, which some of them wanted the whole system eradicated, but somehow they got introduced with the Taken King. each Friday he has a refresh of the stock. I won't worry about the legacy engram. And the ones to upgrade the rare Sparrows to legendary is Plasma Drive and Emerald Coil.
I may be here when you return.
And when you do get into Destiny 2, he also appears there alongside the Ikora and early stages of the game, Cade and Zavala, along with a couple of other faces, apart from Erismon, but there's a whole mystery about her. And your most popular vendors that also appear in Destiny 2, and also the dreaded Eververse lady, played by Claudia Black, who's to many people as the voice of Chloe Fraser in the Uncharted series, in which Nola North, who does the voices of the ghosts in the game, which he also does the voice of Nathan Drake and
Special mission. Xenobiological material.
and there was the exploration of the plaguelands. I covered the Cosmodrome, and I covered the things like reprising the part of the Cosmodrome as a quest in Destiny 2. I also covered that room I was explaining, where that big boss thing comes from the big hole, about the alpha and beta stages of the game. And yeah, it was a fun experience, and I also did a goofy ass thriller dance.
Checking. C-30G is lost in the city.
Which was popularized by Michael Jackson in the thriller video, which directed by John Landis. You get all sorts of characters on this game. And this is what I mean when they come to about people getting to various weapons and that to be grounded for showing that sense of feeling of magic, and that other form of magic on this game was 0.5% of the time. Most half a percent of Guardians used to come up to you, and once you get into a goofy ass dances and that. I did have some Guardian that creepily proposed to me because he got the proposal. Even though I don't know what the hell was all that about at the time, I do not know. I haven't got a clue of why that happened. And I walked through the whole layout of the tower and who the vendors are, and etc, etc. This is this is a rare stream to see rest of the 2018 out to 2019, and I do the videos every Friday at 9 AM and 5 PM GMT, but that will change through the summer. It will be 10 AM and 6 PM BST. So whatever territory you are in, time zones may differ. And the person and the YouTuber Messer Sean used to do fantastic impression videos of the weapons to go for every reset to and everything, and there's for loads of engram openings and that DPJ, which was she did a great video series by opening loads of engrams and that and packages and that before yeah, and yeah, it was totally insane. Yeah, and there was this guy who got a goofy thing. However, for those of you who just joined the Destiny, here's to tell you a funny and weird, unusual story. Before Rise of Iron came out, there was this weird thing. People thought it was a virus in the system where they had particles dancing around the heads, and every time you go near the person, you get touched by them, and etc. etc. I don't know what the hell that was about at the time. People was speculating about all sorts of avenues and that, but it came not into fruition why that happened. People was in panic mode. They thought, oh great, somebody hacked the system and screwed up everybody's game by doing that, and everything else. So that was the weird ass story about this game. However, on my main channel, centrevez, I did an episode of shock midnight shock reactions at 12 AM. And I reacted to a German fan-made Destiny short called the Destiny horror film, which they comprise elements of the Crotas and the raid on top of something else. I did a couple of goofy ones where I turned this film into black and white and had creepy ass music with the Taken shiver if you get the full Taken ensemble. So so that's everything I covered so far. I don't want to cover things like the Dreadnought and the rest is because I don't want to spoil way too much for those of you just got into the games. So you're gonna have to explore that when you go through your story as a guardian. And this goes to this video is in homage to the ones I mentioned was Professor Broman, DPJ, Mr. Sean, and more console. And the rest is history, and the honorable mention goes to Houndish, which he also does the inventory video, the inventory for Destiny 1 on his the inventory video for Destiny 2 on Fridays. So thank you for this special journey back into the plaguelands. It's been a momentous and special one for 2018. Thank you for watching and tuning. Don't forget to share this broadcast with your friends, to share on the social media accounts, and I will be returning on Friday for the first lot of the inventory videos for 2019. Like I said, for the winter it's 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. 9 p.m. for Destiny for the on Destiny 1, and 5 p.m. for the on Destiny 2, and during for the spring and the summer is 10 a.m. for the on Destiny 1 and 6 p.m. for the on Destiny 2. And this is me, Frankie Crofts Mills, wherever you are in the world. Hope to God you enjoyed the new year, and stay safe, fairly well, and may the force be with you.